It's close enough. Oh,
30 something.
It's doing the connecty thing.
Yay. Still got that song going on in my head. I can see us.
Yeah, I thought that was really good crystal, that one.
It's lovely. It reminds me a bit of
Have you seen the bunny?
no, I haven't seen the bunny. No. Do you remember the Big Bang Theory where he's got the meteorite thing and there's something inside it and he's going to cut it open and then he has the dream? It reminds me a bit of that because it's almost as if there is a person living inside it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing my least favourite job.
Oh, Andrew's joined us and that Emma Jane Sadler's there.
Oh, her again. I thought we'd got rid of her at the weekend, I tell you.
Well, she's what she is.
Well, she's going to be even worse now because she's unemployed.
Has she been made redundant?
Not officially. Well, the last email I got was, I don't expect any hourly pays to be coming back after the Easter break, but I'll let you know if I hear anything different, and I haven't heard anything.
Oh, well.
So
one of those things, isn't it?
It is, and it's perfectly fine. I'm quite happy. So have you finished that now?
No, not yet. I've still got to repeat
a
finish,
break.
and then I'm taking a break to snuggle under it because I'm such a tightwad. I will not put the heating on. It's the middle of April. I refuse to have the central heating on. It goes off at the end of March and it doesn't come back on again until the 1st of October, and pretty much it's fine. Yeah. I think once I had to put it on in August because we had snow.
Oh, I've had it on in August. To be fair, my heating, I usually just have it. I do turn the thermostat down in the warmer weather, but if it goes below about 17 degrees, I'm sorry, if it feels the need to come on, then it can come on. And it's done that this afternoon. But to me, I think it's having a flipping menopausal issue or something, because it didn't feel like it was 17 degrees. It felt like it was 20 odd, and the heating's kicking in. So I've gone and turned it right down. I'm not having none of that.
Yeah, the teen ogres will be coming out soon to complain about how cold it is.
No, they don't.
Probably in another hour when they're up.
They know how to work it, unfortunately. So I will just sit here and go, oh, it's blooming boiling. I'll go down and someone will have whacked it up to 27 degrees.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Oh, Andrea's popped in. Hey, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Yeah, I'm snuggling under my blanket. I've got my cowl out. I was about to start knitting and started with the wrong colour.
Yay.
So,
pink or blue.
Pay attention. I've only got 2 choices. But
yeah.
I guess I'm going to be wrong 50% of the time.
Exactly, 50-50. I'm working on my cardigan. I'm not happy. So I've literally I've just got that to do now. Half of the sleeve to finish. The front's sewn on, right? I'm not happy with the hood. I was going for like a slightly bigger band on the front, and then sort of like half foldy it there, but not quite foldy it. I think I was going like a bit artisan-y, but I don't think I like it. It just looks wrong to me. I might pull that out.
That looks absolutely fine. I think you've forgotten how enormous babies' heads are.
You think?
Yeah, just think back to pushing one out.
Ouch.
Yeah. They're not small.
No, that's
only
true.
Rivaled by the shoulders. On the push after that one.
It's just that it looks a bit loosey-goosey to me, that's all. This bit, I don't know.
Well, then cast off in rib. Because that'll tighten it. If you've cast off just knitwise,
yeah, I have.
it'll flatten it, then undo your cast off and do it again in
But
red.
then, I don't know if I am such a lazy person. I don't know if I've got the strength for it. Because look, I've done this little cute little half foldy thing, but not foldy thing. You see? And I'm gonna have to unsew that and everything. Do you know? I think I'll just leave it for about 3 weeks and decide what I'm doing with it. Put it on the naughty step for a little while.
Right, okay.
Yeah. You know me. I like to leave things. Leave it over there for a little while, and eventually I'll decide what I want to do.
Well, sometimes it needs to sort of cogitate and ruminate and all of those things while you...
Fester.
Yeah, but another good word. Yeah, it's a good word.
Have you got your drink? You got a cuppa?
I've got a cup of tea in my big, enormous cup that I love.
I've got something
Jake's
different
only
today.
recently come downstairs, so he's obviously not been up for very long.
Blimey, he's worse than my son.
He has
I'm
promised that he'll power wash all the paths and do my car this week, though.
Ooh.
I may have just slipped the car onto that list, though. It may not have been on the list we discussed.
Right, okay.
But that was the other day, and he'll have forgot. So unless he's watching this, I'll be able to say, I did mention the car.
You did.
You're not very good with lists.
Yeah. It's there.
Working memory. Definitely said it.
Definitely there.
Definitely.
Yeah. My car's gone to the garage, so hopefully it will come back with a nice bit of a clean eventually at the end of May.
Sure it will. How are you managing with your little Yaris?
Well, I've only been out in it once. Do you know what? I'm thinking I might nip down to the spa this afternoon.
Right.
Sort of like near closing time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I quite liked it. And then Phil said to me, I don't know if he was joking or not. He was like, "Oh, how do you like it?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. It's it's fine for me. I'm quite happy with it. Nippy little thing. It's probably quite good on the petrol and big enough just to nip around town. Literally just about got all my shopping in the boot. But however, under normal circumstances, I would probably have bought a little bit less. Wouldn't have gone for a 10-day shop. I'd have just gone for a 4-day shop. So, but and then he goes, "All right, okay, I'll swap the Land Rover for one then." And I was like, "Is he joking?" I was like, "Well, the dog definitely wouldn't get in the boot." He was like, "Well, he'll go in the back seat. Try him." I was like, "I can't try him. It's not my car." He's like, "The car and the dog are at your disposal. Give it a try."
Is he wanting to swap for a smaller vehicle and get the cash?
No.
What's his thinking? But at least he's discussed it with you, and I have to speak up in his defence, sort of, on this one, in that he's casually mentioned it. Mike took the old Merc, which was a C220, and I loved that car. Loved it, but I had to take the little Fiat Panda, which was considerably newer at that point, because I'd just come out of hospital having had 2 lots of gynae surgery in 8 months.
Right.
And I really wasn't well, and the power steering on the Merc was actually quite heavy when you were going to park it, and you have to parallel park on this street, and it's a big car to get into small spaces. And I couldn't move the steering wheel without really hurting my stomach. Whereas with the Fiat, it's got this city mode, and you can literally do this with the steering wheel with your finger, and it's so light, it's unbelievable. And I said, well, let me just have it for a few months while I get over this, and then we'll swap it back. And he went, okay, that's fine. And then after a few months, I said, well, when do you want to swap the cars back? Because he was enjoying the cost effectiveness of the Fiat, because compared to the Merc, you put next to no fuel in it in comparison. And he went, sold it. What? Oh, Frank at the pub's bought it. he's bought Wyatt. Yeah. Do you not think to mention it? Well, not really, no, because you weren't using it. You were using the Fiat, and that's a better car for you, and it's a newer one, and I don't have to worry about you being in it and breaking down. Okay, then. That's at the end of the discussion.
I don't know how I feel about a new car. I mean, my Land Rover, it's 10 years old, but it's never failed me. I've had a dead battery, and that's it. And I like the fact that it's old. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can chuck the dog in it, as smelly and as mucky as he wants to be.
And you're not worried about it. That's the thing.
I'm not worried.
I'm not allowed to put the dogs in this car.
See?
So if they have to go to the vet, I have to phone him, and he has to come down in the Galaxy.
Which is a bit of a chew on, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the dogs love the Galaxy because it's a low bed, it's a people carrier. You can take out loads of the seats and they get tons of room, or you can leave the seats in the back and they just loll across 2 or 3 seats and pant loudly.
Yeah.
And it's great for airport trips, and it's fabulous for booze cruises across to France where you fill it with Paul Remy.
Do you remember those? Do you reckon we'll be able to get one of those in again someday soon?
I don't know, maybe next year. I have to save up for it and absolutely fill it to the
They've got many yarn shops in France.
Yeah, for quite a
we
few.
should go on a yarn crawl.
Yeah, but he made me laugh because he just is in the process of fixing the Galaxy. She needs a new drive shaft.
Right.
But he's got to do the brakes and something else before it can go to the garage for the drive shafts. Now, that all may or may not have been done. But because the car's not here and I don't need it, it's not relevant to the discussion. He won't mention it. So I either have to ask or poke or something, say what's happening with this. And then, I'll not tell you. No. Because Mike's idea of an email is like a text. Got limited characters and are you alive sort of thing.
Does he do that really annoying thing? I do it all the time, right? I am really, really bad for it. My husband moans all the time. I'll read a text and I will answer it in my head as I've read it, and then I'll put the phone down and forget that I haven't actually answered it. And then maybe 3 days later I'll reply. Does he do that?
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
I mean, you remember from last year where at the beginning of September we saw him. He was here for 1 or 2 days, something like that, and then had to go back to deal with something, whatever. I can't remember what it was. It was irrelevant to this anyway. But then I didn't see him again until the week before Christmas. And I didn't hear from him at all for 41 and a half days. And when he did get in touch, he said, it's only been a couple of weeks. Try almost a couple of months. Try 6 weeks.
Yeah. Not
was it been that long? And he's oblivious to it. But he's no sense of time at all. And he made a promise when he went back that he would get in touch every couple of days. And however he was feeling, if he was feeling really crap or whatever, the deal is, all he has to say is, I'm alive.
Okay,
All okay. And that's fine. I won't ask any questions unless he invites conversation by asking how the dogs are, Jake are, do I need anything or whatever. Then I'll converse with him. And occasionally I'll send a quick update. It's like Coco the other day had a bit of a temperature and wasn't feeling very well, but she'd been in season, and us ladies know what that's like.
Yeah.
You don't feel your best, do you? And
you just don't want to be bothered.
And
like, leave me alone.
Well, now it's Mocha's turn, and
okay.
All over the place, but she's quite content to eat, sit outside in the sun and absorb the heat from the concrete at the back.
Sounds like a good
come
way
back
to deal
in and
with
have
it.
a snack and a sleep, and she's really content. So I'd let him know that Coco was a bit out of sorts, but I didn't think it was anything serious. We've had 3 messages since. Is Coco all right? So, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, thanks.
Not.
Oh, men.
But,
Do you know what?
I
I
just
actually
think
got...
differently, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, God, they do. It's like
Yeah.
you said before about the boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually got a full 7 hours kit last night.
Oh, well done.
Yeah. I woke up fine and dandy at 5 o'clock this morning.
There's nothing fine and dandy about 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock's all right. I don't mind being up at 5 o'clock. 4 o'clock's a bit extreme.
Maybe you should have been a farmer.
I do like to be up and down with the rhythms of the daylight, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I woke up about 6. I was having a lovely dream, and Henry Cavill was on holiday with me, and it was going rather well. And then I woke up. And there's nobody there in the bed at all.
That's just rude.
Hashtag gutted.
Oh well, Ben Forster and I we wrote a whole new musical last night, and it was a real hit on the West End.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
What was it called?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's... You need to
I
make
have no idea.
You need to.
I don't know what it was called. I don't know what it was about. I don't know who the characters were. All I know was that I played music on my flute, I composed it on my flute, and he was the lead, you know. So it was fine, and we, you know, earned a lot of money, and yeah, it was lovely. And then I woke up and I can still only play 2 notes. I don't think I'm going to be able to compose a very good musical at that point.
I don't know. I suppose it's our relative. I mean, Beethoven was deaf.
Well, that's true. And actually, the song I was singing earlier, Hosanna, what's his name? Andrew Lloyd Webber said that that's the only song he's ever composed that has just 2 chords in it.
So I'm going to nod like I know what that even means.
Hosanna, 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 oh. Sorry, it's just been going around my head all day. Caitlin's been laughing at me because I found on the internet, on the magic of YouTube, the TV program Superstar, where they cast Jesus Christ Superstar, and I've been watching it, right? And she come out this morning. I was watching it in the background while I was busy. Do you know, like when you just like have something on in the background for the noise? And I'm going to, oh, it's really nerve-wracking. I'm not sure if Ben's going to get through. And she's going, Mother. I love winding her up. We watched a bit of Blackadder last night, the 2 of us.
Well, I'll tell you what, I watched a little bit of on YouTube, and it prompted me to dig out the DVD 6 series set.
Yeah.
And then I realised when I plugged in my DVD player that I have put somewhere safe.
Oh no.
You know, the little coloured audio cables, the red, the white and the yellow.
Yeah.
And the HDMI for the DVD player. So I think they're in a box which is in front of the fireplace, which has a load of other stuff that's all ready to go to the tip. But I can't put anywhere or take out or take to the tip.
Because it's all shut, yeah.
Yeah, because it's all shut, and I was ill when it was open. So that's
yeah.
So I've got to make all that and go in there in the vain hope that that's where the cables are, so that I can watch Killing a Scully.
Watch what?
It's called Killing a Scully. It's an Irish show that was on RTE, and my Auntie Josie got the DVD of the first series and sent it to my dad for his birthday, I don't know, 2006 or something like that.
Right, okay.
And then every time there's been and it wasn't a new series then. So every time a new DVD came out, we got him the new DVD from Amazon.
Right.
From Ireland.
Hmm.
And eventually I got him the full box set because it's all then on one. And then I bought a copy for Jake and I, because Jake, as a little lad, absolutely loved it. And it's just mad. It's this insular little community, and a lot of the main characters are played by one guy called Pat Short.
Okay.
Short with two T's, obviously.
Yeah, like you do, yeah.
And he plays a lady called Goretti who runs Mount Bernadette, which is the sort of B&B, and everyone, she's an absolute man-eater. And there's an episode where she's at the village fair or something like that, and there's someone there selling yoga classes, and she looks her up and down and she says, "Are you flexible?" "Well, I can't do Tuesdays." And it's stuff like, can you fill in this questionnaire? Have you ever strained a groin? Well, not my own, obviously. And he's taking it off and stuff like this, and all the things that are going on in the background and the silly stuff. There's an episode where the priest he's called Philip Eno, which is a whole different line of jokes, because a Filipino person arrives on holiday and they think he's the new priest, and it's not. And he ends up being given a loud hailer. And he's in the church. He thinks he's on his own in the churchyard, and he's screaming, "Repent!" in this Ulster accent. And there's somebody sat in front of his mother's grave, thinks it's the voice of God, telling him that he can't go to hell. And that's all the emotions this guy's going through, as the priest is the other side of the churchyard shouting his head off. And it's just really stupid, daft stuff and misunderstandings. But it's a nice little family show, and Jake as a kid loved the jokes. Just very, very clever.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I've not heard of it.
It's never been on the TV here, and I really don't understand why. But because RTE, now that everybody's in lockdown, are bringing it back. Right. Because so many people have said, let us have Killing a Scully and let us have this, and at least we can watch these sort of comforting shows. I mean, there's a lovely little sketch where there's these three idiots outside, and they're going, "Wonder which is further away, the moon or the community centre?" And one of them says, "Well, that's obvious, isn't it? It's the community centre. You can see the moon from here." And it's just...
Yeah, because you can't see the community centre. I can understand that logic.
Well, it's so, even little kids in a family can kind of keep up with the joke.
Well, I think that's what we need at the minute, isn't it? It's sorts of family shows. We haven't got the family shows at the minute.
No.
So my sleeves are in.
Oh, that looks really cute.
With a little hoodie hood.
Hoodie. That's lovely. How many buttons is it going to have?
6. I need to find some. I'm going to get some pink ones. I might go onto eBay and see if there's anyone, like a little independent seller.
Yeah.
Well,
they'll be glad to be for little sales at the moment.
That's what I'm thinking. Just try and support someone.
Yeah.
Because they can just knit down to the post office or whatever, can't they?
Oh, absolutely.
I think I've got loads of buttons, but they're all green, because at one point I just purchased a job lot of green buttons.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I picked a load of packs of buttons up at the range when I was knitting for my cousin's little girl Isla, who's now about 4 or possibly even 5.
Yeah.
I need one of those where I'm sort of pulling out these button packs and looking for all the 1/2 to 1 inch buttons so I can do these mask mates for the NHS.
Oh, yeah.
And then I sort of checked with one place and they were like, "Oh no, it's got to be 100% cotton. It's got to be able to be washed at 60 degrees. And I said, "Well, I can't find a single yarn online that says wash at 60 degrees. And even dishcloth cotton says 40 degrees. The reality is you put it in the hot wash in your washing machine, but the manufacturers are a bit circumspect about it.
Well, that's the thing. It's a bit like when I say to Callum about, best before dates and everything. They're always on the side of caution, don't they?
Well, and you can't blame them, can you? Because
No, because you'd have that one person that would be in touch and say, you said 60, I washed mine at 50, and it's come out like this.
Oh, absolutely.
So you can't blame them, like you say.
No, one of those things. But I phoned my GP's practice, which is out near my parents' out at Haverthwaite, and I said, well, I've got these, and you can only wash them at 40C. So I don't know if they'll be any good. And she said, well, explain to me what they're like. And then gave me an email address, and I sent her a photograph and she said, how do they work? So I then sent her a picture of someone wearing one. And she's on the phone and she said, just hang on a second. I'm not going to put you on hold. I want you to hear the discussion in the background. And all I heard was, oh my God, yes, please.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I am like so sore from that PPE. I don't care if I have to wash it every day.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it?
And then she came back with, how many can you let us have? And I said, well, I've got 11 with buttons on, but my mother's just given away 2 to her friend because that's my mother. You know, no consultation. Oh, so and so will have some.
Yeah, okay, then
I can send you 10 and then I'll sort out a couple more, and if I'm coming out that way I'll drop them off, and if I'm not, then I'll put them in the post. Well, she said, that's brilliant. She said, oh, just thank you so much. I thought, well, my mother said, well, how long do they take to make? A couple of minutes. No, Mum.
It's not just that, though. I think more than anything, it's the buttons, isn't it? It's having enough of the buttons.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've managed to sort of match some of the buttons. They're vaguely the same colour. They're the same size.
Yeah.
But I can see the next batch that I do will just get whatever old buttons that I've got, and I don't care if they match or not, and they're on the back of your head. You
won't see them once somebody's put them on you. You know, nobody's really going to bother, are they?
Well, no, and if it makes it feel like your ears aren't being chopped off, then you're not really going to be that minded, are you?
No, exactly.
So that was my plan. I think your little hoodie's really cute. You're going to have a pocket?
No, it wasn't going to have a pocket. I've never actually made anything with pockets.
What?
Honestly, I've never made anything that's got a pocket. I've never done a pocket before.
People love pockets on baby things. You could do an afterthought pocket.
Why do they love them though?
Because it makes it look like grown-up garments. I mean, it's not like a little baby needs to put for somewhere for its tobacco and its cigarette money, but
it needs its mobile phone going somewhere.
Well, that was the one thing that my niece Shana said with the Gramps cardigan. Oh, the pockets were so cute. Thinking they're utterly pointless, and they were real fiddly faff. But that was the thing that she completely loved. So
I might do one with a pocket, maybe. I want to do one. That one's completely plain. I was thinking I might do one with a bit of a lace pattern.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Just was like getting my head around the construction first of all. So I didn't want to do any patterning or anything. I just wanted a plain cardigan that I can just work out what I'm doing.
Well, you can drop lace panels and things like that into it once you've got the basics for the sizes, can't you?
Yeah.
So this is where I'm at.
Ooh, it's looking good.
It is looking good. There's a little plain bit that goes at the back of your neck so that you don't have a load of stuff to tuck in behind your head.
Yeah, it could go like that. I've got a bit of a achy joint on my little finger today. I don't know what that's all about. So I think I'm gonna not knit anymore for the rest of the day. I know.
You shouldn't compound pas.
I get Mossy. I do get joint pain. This one's my worst one. My index finger on my right. It's got like a proper lump on it, and then every so often it'll just burn like it's boiling hot.
Was it like a whitlow or something?
No, it's the actual bone.
Right.
So you can feel like the lump on the bone on that one. That one goes. That's the worst one. And then sometimes my thumb as well. But I've got it on this joint here on my little finger. That knobbly one on my hand today.
Right.
So I did ask the nurse if it was like some kind of rheumatism or arthritis or something, and she just looked at me like I was stupid.
Well, given that there's lumps, it would suggest so, yes.
I know. And I wondered if it was linked to my food as well.
Well, it won't help.
Well, especially at the moment because I can't get everything.
Have you got pineapple?
I think I've got tin pineapple.
Go and eat some of that. It's a natural anti-inflammatory.
Oh, I'll try some of that then.
And from the health food shop, I used to take devil's claw.
That sounds interesting.
That's a natural anti-inflammatory because ibuprofen makes me itch.
Right. I think half of my problem is that at the moment I can't get all the stuff that I would normally eat, and I am just kind of winging it a little bit, really. So last night I had, I normally have my porridge. I normally have rice milk. Couldn't get any rice milk at all when I went shopping. I got unsweetened coconut.
Right.
And for all the fact that I don't mind coconut, my porridge just tasted horrible. I couldn't eat it. Gave it to the dog. I don't know if he's supposed to have coconut or not, but he enjoyed it. So, and then I had a packet of, they were gluten-free, milk-free breakfast biscuits, but that just kind of knocks me out then because I'm used to having my porridge in the evening. That keeps me okay for breakfast. I don't tend to need to eat anything first thing in the morning. But then this morning by 9 o'clock, I was absolutely starving.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking I might nip down to the shops later near closing time, see if I can just get some rice milk.
Yeah, they might have something.
I was thinking I've tried first thing in the morning. I'll try late in the evening now and see, because I don't need eggs. I don't need bananas and things like that. The stuff that you would think they might run out of. And that you'd want to go first thing in the morning to get. So I don't need any of that. I'm just hoping they might have some rice milk left on the shelf.
Have you seen the old fella on, is it Captain Tom Moore?
I tried to donate to his page this morning and I couldn't. It was
crashing. It went from something like 700,000, and the last time I checked, several hours ago, I might add, it was heading towards 2 million or something ridiculous. It was, I don't know, it was an incredible amount of money.
Well, Piers Morgan gave him something like £10,000, I think it was.
Absolutely brilliant. Good luck to him. And that attitude of service, of course, it's just really inspirational, isn't it?
It just upsets me a little bit that people are having to do it.
Yeah.
It's great that people are doing it. It's wonderful, but we shouldn't have to.
No, we shouldn't.
But it is what it is, I suppose.
It's giving everybody a nice little morale boost, and it's making the NHS feel like they've got the support of the public. Yeah, which has got to help, hasn't it?
I did watch an interview this morning with some politician woman, and I just wanted to slap her.
I often find that's the case. I watch the first 30 minutes of BBC Breakfast News, and then I switch it off. I'd rather go to documentaries and watch that George Papadopoulos or whatever he's called, the one with the mad Einstein hair. Who's in search of aliens or whatever.
Well, he's probably more
finds a can of beans and, or doesn't find copper wire and it's proof of Wi-Fi. I just sort of think,
Yeah.
bless him. He's much less harmful than
Like I say, at least he knows what he's talking about. You could ask him a question
and he
and he'd have an
speaks
answer to
with
it.
passion, yeah, and
Yeah.
genuinely believes what he means. But
none of this, every time you ask him a question, well, we're just following the science, or you know, we have a plan and we're sticking to the plan. Right, okay, what's the plan? We're following the
what they're not
science.
telling us, though, is that the plan in January was herd immunity. And if you look at the figures for herd immunity, that could have meant 250,000 deaths in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really convinced by the plan because I'm not sure I'm being told all of it.
Well,
I did get an email from Patient Access, which is the app I use to make appointments and stuff like that with my GP and order repeat prescriptions.
Yeah.
And they've got a blog post. Is it Sarah Lancaster or something? Red-haired lady, a doctor.
Oh, I know the one you mean, the GP.
Answering questions and things like that. And they've got a survey about, have you had symptoms? What were they? How mild were they? Of the following list, what symptoms did you have? And they are trying to get a more accurate picture of people who have had COVID. And one of the questions is, have you lost your sense of taste and or smell?
Yeah, because they've put it down as a symptom, but they're not putting it down as a symptom that if you just got that, you would have to self-isolate.
Yeah.
Which doesn't kind of make sense to me, because they're saying some people don't have any symptoms and some people have really mild symptoms. So if that was your only symptom and you're following the advice and you didn't have to self-isolate, you could still be spreading that then, couldn't you?
Well, that's what worries me, that some of it's very contradictory, and I don't know.
It's difficult.
I'm frustrated that they knew about it this far back. And if organisations like the ones I'm involved in could be doing emergency planning from then, let's see why the government wasn't doing more. But what do I know?
We know nothing.
No. It's all good. I just used the blue bit. Can you see?
Oh, flashy flash.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's coming on nicely.
It's ridiculously soft. It's just really smooshy. I don't know why Rowan discontinued this yarn. Maybe it was too expensive to produce or something, but fool them. Because it is lovely.
They have a habit of doing that, don't they? Just stop making the popular stuff. It's like they want to keep you guessing.
Yeah, we had one with, I've only got a handful of balls left on the website at the moment, and it's Murano lace from Alsterman. And they just stopped it, no warning. It was our bestseller. It had just been featured in one of the American magazines. And the lady who did the pattern is quite well known for modular knits and things like that. And the number of packs of yarn that I sent across to the States for people to knit that. And then when I go to order it again, we're not doing it. Well, why aren't you doing it? Because the supplier in Turkey is going to supply so-and-so in Germany, and they've offered them more money. Well, do you not have some sort of design rights over your own yarns?
Obviously
they can't
not.
copy it, that they can't sell it to someone else. So have you not looked at your contracts?
Sometimes you have to wonder, don't you?
You do. I think, there's a yellow and green. Yeah. And I am tempted to make a cardigan with it. And I don't know whether to make this one because it's a bat wing, and sort of the body is done in crochet squares that are joined together. Okay. And then you pick up the sides and knit the bat wing sleeve out from the body. So it's knit and crochet. And I think that's what appealed to me, the clever construction and the combination of the two. And you could do a basic garter knit version of the front and the back if you didn't want to do the crochet, but it was the way the colours played with the crochet motifs that I thought was desperately clever. And I
Sounds
think,
interesting.
if I hadn't already known how to crochet, I'd have learned how to do it for that.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Mother of invention is necessity, or whatever it's called. Same with, learning, something along those lines. If you really, really want something, you'll learn, won't you?
Oh, of course you will. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So, have you got your porridge for your tea tonight, or have you got?
I've got porridge in the fridge with coconut milk on it, but after last night, I probably won't eat it because it was vile.
Oh.
So I don't know. I'll probably, I think I haven't had any bread today, so I'll probably have scrambled egg and baked beans on toast for my tea.
Did you get me link that I sent you yesterday?
Yes, but I haven't looked at it.
You have to watch it before you eat that meal.
Why?
It's the Lancashire hot pots. And it's their sauce, eggs, chips, and sausage, egg, chips, and beans.
Well, I clicked on it. I was sat in bed, and Caitlin and I had just put on. We actually watched Bride Wars, the movie Bride Wars, and then we put. Yeah, it's an old one. Blonde woman, flipping Goldie Hawn's daughter. Oh, what's her name?
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, her and Kate Hathaway. So we just watched that, and then we watched some Blackadder afterwards. Caitlin requested Blackadder the third. So so I looked at it and I clicked on it, and he started singing. So I paused it because we were in the middle of the movie, and I haven't gone back and looked at it again.
Sausage, egg, chips, and beans.
That's me. That is me.
Why it's the best meal in the world.
Oh, right. Well, it is though, isn't it?
Yeah, I just think it's such a fun song. My favourite of theirs is I Fear IKEA.
Do you know, I've never been to IKEA.
Yeah, he's right. He says that it's the size of Belgium, but there's no bloody staff. And once you get in, you can't get out.
I've heard that you have to go a certain way. It's like the supermarkets now. You have to follow a thingy, and whether you want to go down that aisle, you just have to, because you need the next one, and if you don't go down that one, you can't get to the next one.
And you pick it off the shelf. You pick it off the shelf yourself from the warehouse. You're doing the warehousing yourself.
So it's a bit like, I used to work in Argos. So do you know, you go in and you say, right, I want this product, and there's somebody upstairs who goes and picks it and sends it down. So it's a bit like cutting the middleman out, isn't it, really, I suppose?
It
just
is.
Like letting it loose upstairs in Argos.
Yeah, but when you go to a checkout in IKEA, you're just as likely to be served by the manager of the entire store as you are by any member of staff, because they have a really flat management hierarchy.
All right.
And everybody is expected to be hands-on so that they understand the challenges and the difficulties.
I like that. Because there's nothing worse than having a boss telling you what to do when they don't understand what they're actually asking you to do.
I can't remember if it was Peter Drucker or somebody like that who said he'd done some consultancy work with them years ago, and it was one of the few places he'd been to a headquarters and actually been impressed, because he always asks to see the staff toilets, and they're never as nice as the swanky ones that the directors have. And he said, but they were at IKEA. And he said that says you value your staff when they've got nice toilets.
Oh, well, at college we shared with the students that the ones in the A-level building were always much nicer, so we used to just nip across to the A-levels. They even had like the automatic flush and the automatic washing for your hands and that. But over in the main building they're over. But we found there was a secret, we called it the secret toilet, but it was just a disabled one that was hidden around a corner that nobody knew it was there. So we always used to go to the secret toilet.
Much less traffic.
Go in it. Yeah, well, it was the fact that the staff went in there, but the students didn't.
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, funny. There's nothing more disconcerting than going for a wee, you're absolutely desperate because you've been busy all morning and you've been saying for the last 2 hours, I need to go for a wee, I need to go for a wee. And you finally get in there and all you can hear is these girls effing and blinding about their boyfriends.
Yeah, it's not particularly nice, is it?
No, it's not great. Not at all. No. So I don't know what I'm doing tonight because Caitlin went back to college today online. Not actually back to college.
Back to studying.
Yeah, online learning. Callum has just been putting along. Oh, it's getting there.
Yeah, a few inches yet.
It's one of those ones that you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it's not growing, and then suddenly
it's too long.
Yeah, it is definitely one of those patterns. Because when I did the lace weight one, I gave up doing the zippy pattern because I was getting fed up with it because it wasn't growing. So on the back I changed the pattern to something else.
Well, I'm getting to sort of there on my ball of the pink.
Yeah.
Here is my ball of the blue.
It is quite thirsty on the yarn though, I think.
Yeah, so I don't know. If I can easily find another ball of the pink, then I'll carry on in patterning. If not, I might have to just finish off with the blue.
Well, yeah, because it can go all the way round to sort of out here without it looking strange at all, can't it? It's not a problem.
Well, and I like 50-50 pattern and and things and different texture.
Twirl it.
So yeah, and you can have half and half on the front and
yeah, and you can strike a pose.
I could.
Yeah, you could vogue it.
I could. I'm going to have to practice my Freeman's catalogue poses for the next lot of photography that I do to look like that man on the top of Snowdon.
Breathe in, tummy in, chest up, chin up.
Suck in the gut. Yeah, it's getting harder to suck in the old gut.
Well, do you know, I don't know if I said to you that Sunday morning I had a burst of energy. I got one of my DVDs out, right, and I'd been looking and my arms were annoying me. So obviously I've lost quite a lot of weight, haven't I? And my legs look lovely and toned because I run all the time, but my arms were annoying me. So I found my Gillian Michaels weights DVD. And I thought, right, I'm gonna do my arms, right? Anyway, so I did that, and it was only 25 minutes, and I was feeling really like pumped and energized afterwards. You know what she does to you, doesn't she? She's all like, yeah. I was like, yeah. So I'd done all these squats and things with this kettlebell, having it like that, and giving it all this, and and then I went on the treadmill and I ran as fast as I could for a kilometre. I think I did a kilometre in about 6 minutes or something. And then I come off. Anyway, yesterday I was doing that thing where you go for a wee and you have to like kind of ease yourself onto the toilet because your leg and your bum muscles. And I was like, oh, I can't even sit down. And then I couldn't get back. I was like, oh, all day long.
I was like that with that sadist Joe Wicks and his PE for children. To say not for the middle-aged, my goodness.
Does it come with a health warning in the beginning? Because it should.
Well, I mean, the little child, this little girl, it's a friend's little girl that's doing it with him, and she was hurling herself all over the place. Then every now and then she'd say, I'm a bit tired now, and he'd say, we're nearly done, we've just got 10 seconds. So she'd do some more bouncing and arm flinging and boxing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can barely get in and out the chair after that. And I was really struggling up the stairs. Made myself keep going up and downstairs and drank loads of tea to force myself to go to the toilet to get everything moving again. And I think, how hard does it have to be? It just everything aches and shakes. Have you hurt your back? And I'm thinking, no, I'll just hurt my ass muscles.
It is, honestly, it's going for a wee, trying to sit down on the toilet for a wee is the most painful experience.
Hamstrings.
Yeah, so I didn't have a run this morning, but I really need to have one again tomorrow because, like I said to you can't leave it too long, otherwise it's just pointless, isn't it? You've got to loosen them up. So, but I've definitely been suffering with DOMS. Yesterday was worse, which is unlike me because normally I get it after 48 hours, not 24 hours. But yeah, and I was like, yeah, this is great. I'm going to do this every day.
I did 30-day shred. When did I do this? It was after I'd had the TIA, so was I 44? 8 years ago.
Okay.
And once I'd got this sort of release from the hospital and you can go exercising, right, what do I do? Swimming, 2 months. So
yeah,
I couldn't do five lengths and was doing 60 several times a week.
that's good.
I'm feeling really good, actually. Don't know that I was any slimmer, but I felt better. And then what happened was I thought, right, okay. The pool was getting busier and busier, and I was too young to go for the over 50s sessions, and they wouldn't let me, even though I had a letter from the hospital saying she's injured and she can't, if she gets kicked in the stomach or something silly like that, back in hospital, wouldn't have any of it. Right, okay, whatever. So I cancelled my membership, and Mike said, what about that Gillian Michaels? So-and-so says it's really good. Yeah, so-and-so's an idiot. I got the 30-day shred. He sat there on the sofa, over on that side. Telly's over there. Clear the living room. I am flinging myself around like a lunatic, and she starts us doing burpees.
Yeah.
Because she's sick, twisted, and sadistic.
Yeah.
And she wants punching. Burpees. Someone who can struggle to get out of the chair. Burpees, I ask you. So I'm throwing myself down and then back up and all this and all of that, and I'm purple faced and lungs are up here somewhere. And he went, do you know you weren't doing anything like what she was? Good. Thank you, dear, for your support and encouragement. Well, come running with me, because he just started having his midlife crisis running. And I said, right, I'll do this for 30 days and then I'll come running with you. And I did do it every day. And some days I was in agony, and some days it's around about 30 minutes. It's 20 minutes plus the warm up and the cool down. So it's
yeah.
I was probably doing 5 to 6 minutes of active in the first few days, sort of up to about a week, because I was either sucking in air or wanted to be sick.
Yeah.
And swearing at her.
Mm-hmm.
Telling her to shove stuff where the sun doesn't shine. But then by week 2, I wasn't hating her quite as much. Then by week 3, I was thinking, actually, I'm getting quite good at this. And then by week 4, he lands up again and he's watching me and he went, you had really good form with that. That actually looked quite good. It looked quite controlled. And I'm thinking, didn't it look controlled before? And sort of thinking back to the way I flung myself around like a spider on acid, it probably didn't look controlled. It just looked fit.
I'd have been telling him he needs to get up and do it with you.
Well, I kept saying that, but no, there isn't room, or the dogs will get up. There was every excuse known to man, and it's because he's not as coordinated as he'd like to think he is, and he doesn't want to be laughed at.
Right.
Don't mind, you can laugh at me all day, it's fine. Because I'll be laughing. Even if I'm swearing at her, I'll be laughing at myself. Fine. But after a month, he then insisted I had to go for a run with him. And I went for my first run in my adult life. And I did a mile.
Well done.
Yeah. And honestly, it was like, was that it then? I mean, it wasn't fast. It's the caveat. My run is on a par with someone else's walk. But it's bouncy and I put a lot of effort in.
That's what matters. That you.
It looks like I'm working hard. It's just not quick.
There you go. It doesn't, like I say, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I've dug out the 30-day shred. I've got me Jessica Smith body balance, because the stretching on that is really good.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll do the stretching on hers because it's much more slow and controlled. And Gillian doesn't really pay attention at the end. She's kind of had enough.
What an annoys me as well about Gillian is that she'll be doing the video and she'll say, right, well, we're going to do it slow and I'm going to explain this to you and why you're doing this and that and the other. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine for the first couple of times you've watched it. But if you were going to do this exercise video all the time, that would get annoying. You should really put that in a separate bit that you can work through at the beginning. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I have some on my laptop from Jade Teeter. In fact, he's got a challenge starting this week, I think, on boosting your immune system, and it's got some new 15-minute workouts included. And his is rest-based training. So you work really hard until you can't anymore. And then he makes you rest.
Yeah.
And if you do 5 out of 15 minutes, he's happy. Because in 2 weeks, you'll be doing the full 15 minutes, or you might take 1 or 2 minutes rest if it's a harder exercise. But you are working at your maximum capacity. And that's what works. And it'd be, oh, let's do this. But they have sort of, the lady on the extreme left is usually the beginner. So you watch her. And then there's someone intermediate in the middle. And then there's someone on the right who's got weights the size of a small dog.
Yeah.
A large dog sometimes. Who's got massive weights and he's doing the really sort of, you know, snap your butt muscle version of whatever it is that's going on. And the person on the left who's the beginner's got no weights, but what they're doing is they're actually tensing their muscles, and that works them just as hard as if you had a small weight. But psychologically you're thinking it's easier because you're not holding anything, but you are tensing your muscles and you are working
them. Even just holding your arms up hurts.
And he'll be wandering around and he'll be saying, do you know, I love it when you rest. Keep going. Yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going until you can, and then you rest. And all the way through, you're being rewarded for that rest. But, I mean, you've earned it.
Well, yeah, there is that.
So, yeah, I don't know whether to do metabolic prime rather than the 30-day shred. I think with 30-day shred, I just like the fact that it's, you know, you committed to 30 days, but with metabolic prime, I think it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
Right.
I think there's a women's only one that I've got, which is based on where you are in your hormonal stage of your life. And some of the exercises in that are really tough. That's 4 lots of 3 weeks. So 12 weeks, that one. So I don't know whether to commit to that.
Yeah, you might get through it before we can go out.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I've got a longer term goal, if I do 30 days and then I've got to do 30 days again.
Yeah.
Kind of thing I'd like to progress and progress and progress. And so I don't know. What do you think?
Go for it. Go for the 12 weeks. I think.
Yeah, Jake still hasn't brought the exercise bike in from the garage yet.
Shocking. I've got my punch bag. I think I'm going to have a go on the punch bag. I bought a DVD to go with that. That's like exercise videos for you. Punch bag.
All right.
For me, I definitely
in the garage.
Upper body stuff. No, we've got what should be the dining room is set up as a gym because we've got the treadmill in there and everything.
Right. Okay. The treadmill.
The treadmill, yeah. So and you can see out of the front, so you can see everybody walking past and everything. It's quite nice to stand on there and watch the world go by. It gives you something to look at rather than in the gym when you're like just looking at other people or you're looking at the wall or whatever.
Coco will run on it. When we had the treadmill here, Coco would run on it.
Yeah.
Sits next to it and sort of goes, you feel.
Yeah, Arthur just thinks it's a toy for his ball.
Well, yeah. There was a lady on Facebook the other day someone was putting Skittles or chocolates on this end of the treadmill, and then it was going out, and she was on the floor catching them with her mouth and saying that was her cardio. And I'm thinking, people have been running on that with outdoor shoes.
And even if they haven't been running on it with outdoor shoes, they've been running on it in their bare, sweaty, horrible feet.
Yeah, and she's eating those sweets. Yeah, so loads of people were going, oh, that's fun. Maybe I should try it. And I just sort of commented and went, Ew. Hope she cleaned it first.
That's not fun. Carmen and I were talking about, we were talking about going swimming literally about a week or two before all this really kicked off. We were looking into getting a swim only membership at the local swimming bar. Oh, that won't happen now, will it?
Well, not for a little while, but the pool will be lovely and clean by the time you do. Will you get off my blanket? Get off it.
It's not for doggies.
Honestly.
It's rude.
Oh, it's just pig ignorant. And she's in with her claws. That's the thing. I don't mind dog particularly. That can wash off. It's the claws that might.
Yeah, it's definitely rude. Definitely rude. Somebody's dinner time.
Yeah, I think we've been on long enough, haven't we? We've waffled a bit.
We've waffled for an hour after.
Oh, hey, Sally. Sally Cow.
Oh, hi, Sally. I did see the jumper. It's very good.
The what?
The jumper. Sally's jumper for her husband.
Oh, yeah, for Joe. Yeah.
It's almost, but not quite like a Gansey, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got that sort of look to it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice.
The wool looks lovely. Wild wool, I think. That's good. Well, I'll let you know how my little mask mates go down. I'll have to get them in the wash, take some photographs before they go, and before my mother gives them all away.
It only take a couple of minutes to make. I mean, come on. Why are you getting so precious about it?
Yeah, apparently.
You could whip up about another 50 in an evening, can't you?
Oh, yeah. I
the
think
buttons all sewn on.
It took a Harry Potter film to do 12.
What's that, about 3 hours?
I've made slightly more than that. 13, 14.
Was that just doing the crochet bit though, or was that,
that was the crochet bit.
Right.
12, 13, 14. So I made 15 from one ball.
Cool.
You can.
Yeah.
15 of those from one ball, and that one's got to be ripped out and made smaller because I lost at yarn chicken.
Or you could always just change to a different colour.
I could, but then
make it a rainbow one.
Yeah. I think I'll just do the yarn chicken thing. And what I found as well is I always do my starting chain quite loosely, and you don't want to be doing that with these because otherwise you end up with gaps.
Right.
Where you've got to put your buttons. I had to tighten all of those kind of loops at the end, but it was fine. What are they? I think they're about 5 inches long, and obviously they can move the buttons to suit their own heads, can't they? That's the thing.
Yeah.
I've done some smaller ones at 3 inches and some at 4 inches, but
for little lady heads and big man heads.
Yeah. So it's I think it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, sorry, in total. At 150 gram ball of all seasons cotton Aran.
Good.
That's not bad. And they've said it's okay for GPs and things like that. They're quite happy with that. I think if it was going to the hospital, it would have to be probably dishcloth cotton or something that can be boiled. 100% cotton. I don't know how. I could try steaming these. I don't know what else I can do. And they're going to be touching hair anyway. And the backs of people's sweaty heads. So I don't. Well, they work. I mean, they go around the back of the head with the little.
Yeah, but we don't really need to think about sweaty heads, though, do we?
No. From a practical point of view, that's where they're going to be.
Yeah.
See anyway. Right, is that us for today? Was there anything else to mention?
No, I don't think so. I'm gonna go and feed my doggy woggy and chill out for another couple of hours, and then I might try and head out to the shops about 6:30, 7:ish. I hate going out in the evening, but we'll see. We'll just see what happens, though.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Somebody was saying her dad goes at 8 o'clock every night to the supermarkets, and it's empty. No, so maybe that is the time to go.
I think so. If the chemist was anything to go by, where I went half an hour before they shut, and it didn't take long at all. So I think most people are getting up early and going to places at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
And most people have started drinking at 2 o'clock, so they can't go out shopping now.
I was about to say that. They'll have had a couple of scoops of wine by now, so nobody's going to get in the car unless they've really got to.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to not. I mean, I've only had a bottle of Prosecco over about 3 days, and then I had screaming indigestion each time. So I think I'm going to knock the alcohol on the head for a while.
It's possibly the bubbles. You should try flat wine to see if that's any better.
I don't know. Somebody did suggest adding ice. I've no idea why, and that might assist, and that kind of wine is designed to be super chilled, and then it doesn't cause that. But it's in my really cold, you have to watch everything so it doesn't freeze it fridge. So I don't. We'll see anyway. I could just use stone in weight, and that would solve it all because I wouldn't get indigestion at all.
I used to get a lot of indigestion, and I couldn't drink beer and stuff like that, and I used to live on Gaviscon, but I think mine was more to do with the gluten, really, to be honest.
Yeah, I've been fairly chugging that down over the last couple of weeks with the biscuits and whatnot, so
yeah,
I need to knock all of that on the head. I can see my face is filling out.
Mine looked quite skinny today. That's why I thought I looked old. I could look old and skinny or young and chubby.
Well, Wallace Simpson said you can never be too rich or too thin.
I read something yesterday. I was saying to my husband I think it was on Twitter, there's the 5 things that you want when you're in lockdown, but that nobody has got all 5 of them. Now, I can't remember what all 5 were. Number 1 was your partner. Number 2 was quiet neighbours. Number 3 was good Wi-Fi signal, good internet. And I can't remember what the others were. Oh, there was an outdoor space, either a balcony or a garden. But what the 5th one was, I don't know. But they were saying like nobody really, unless I suppose you're like a big rich person in a mansion, has got all 5.
I've definitely got some noisier neighbours than others.
We've got a family on one side who has children that screech. I think one of them's only about 2 or 3. But that's just what kids do, isn't it? You can't.
Well, kids play noisily, but I don't particularly mind that. That's actually quite nice to hear because they're having fun. But what I object to is the screaming loud music, because they're outside having a barbecue and their music should be inflicted on everybody on the whole street, to the point where you can't have your doors and windows open because you can't hear.
That is really annoying.
And that annoys me.
The music, and the other thing is there's been a lot of bonfires have been really annoying me. Your first sign of nice weather, and because the rubbish isn't getting collected, they're all sticking it on bonfires at the moment, and it's driving me potty. Stinks your house out.
And it doesn't help if you've got your washing out, does it? Because then you bring it all back in with your washing.
And you have to wash it again.
Yeah. I suppose my worry at the moment as well is people have started, these lantern things that you light with a flame and they go off. I mean, they've burnt horses and other animals. that they land on. And the
Yeah.
land's parched. Not every field has access to a ton of water, and not every animal's big enough to get into a trough to put out a fire on its skin.
It's just not on. I don't
I
like
mean,
it when people do those.
resulted in some really horrible injuries in the countryside. It's just stupid beyond belief.
And the other one is the helium-filled balloons that they let off in memory of somebody. What's that all about? I mean, come on. All it's going to do is kill some wildlife.
Yeah, I don't
Please don't do it.
I think there's lots of really nice ways that you can remember a loved one, but strangling a couple of dozen ducks isn't really the clever way to do it, I don't think, or killing off a sea turtle because it's got
especially as once you let it go, maybe 10-15 seconds you can see it flying in the air, and then that's it. It's not exactly a lasting thing for you to enjoy.
No,
I just don't understand it personally.
I'd much rather have a nice photo album or a collection of poems and daft stories from family and memories of silly jokes and tricks that they did, or daft stuff like that. That would seem much more fitting to the person, to me. Mainly because my family's daft.
Definitely.
They're all nut jobs.
Your family's superb.
The race at party. Just pour on alcohol and what?
Oh, do you know what? That's what we need. I think even if Woolfest isn't, is it Woolfest? Whatever it was, and even if we by some miracle get back to some normality of life and that's not going on, I think I might still come across and have my hotel room and we'll just have our own little party and get your mum and dad there with some alcohol and it'll be fine.
Yeah, be good. I hope they were allowed to do something by then.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna go and sort my doggy woggy out, and I need a wee, as always. Happens all the time.
She's so classy.
I am. I need a wee, 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 wee. I need a wee, 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 wee. Do you like
and
my
on
wee?
that happy note, we'll see you tomorrow.